there, this is Michelle from Dress Up with Michelle. This is a wreath that I made in a previous video. It is a hop on in bunny wreath, and I did this in my past video. I'd like you to go back and look at this video if you have not. I think it's something that you might enjoy and you might like. But this is the wreath, and I think it turned out really, really cute. But today, we are going to do an Easter wreath, but it's going to be a little bit different from this one. So let me put this one aside so that you can see the supplies that we will need to make our next Easter wreath. Okay, here is the sign. Isn't it cute? The pink, the yellow, the lavender, and the blue. So this is a sign that I got from Dollar Tree. Not sure how long ago, but this is the sign. It says Easter Bunny, Egg Hunt, and Jelly Bean Trail. So I am not going to use the usual deco mesh that I use to make my wreaths. I'm using one. It's a little bit different, but it still is pretty. So let me show you the deco mesh that I'll be using. So I'll be using, and this is from Dollar Tree, this blue, and it looks like it's like dusted with either snow, something white. It has a lot of texture to it, so this is cute. And then I have the pink one, and I also have a yellow one. And I will also be using the lavender that I already cut up, okay? So that's the deco mesh. Put that aside. You'll need a 14-inch wreath frame or wreath ring that I got from Dollar Tree. And of course your chenille stems. So I have these yellow chenille stems. For my ribbon, I am using this Dollar Tree ribbon that I cut into 12-inch strips. And I'm going to complement that with this yellow ribbon that I got from Craft Outlet, which is an online craft store. And then I have this cute blue ribbon that I actually found recently at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to pair that with this pink polka dot ribbon that I got from Michael. So I think these two would look cute together. As far as my decorations, I have this little bunny tail that I got from Dollar Tree. I also got these ears, these bunny ears with a little carrot that I got from Dollar Tree. And then I have these jelly beans, because it says Jelly Bean Trail. So I got these jelly beans from Dollar Tree. And then I got these bundle of eggs. They're like iridescent. I got these from Hobby Lobby. They were $4.49 with 40% off. And then I just have these little eggs here that I may use to embellish. And then some Dollar Tree eggs that I also have. I also do have this, which is called mesh tubing that I got from Dollar Tree. I have the yellow, I have the white, I have the blue, and I also have a pink. The pink was part of their Valentine's Day supply. So I think this would look so cute in our wreath. So I think that's all for now. Let's get started. Okay, so we are not going to put the pipe cleaners on the wreath first, the wreath ring first. We are going to create bundles and then we'll place them on the wreath form. So I'm thinking we may have to use 6 to 8 bundles of mesh with ribbon per section. And this wreath comes with 6 sections. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So I don't need my chenille stems to be this long. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut those in half. I'll cut these in half. I really should use my wire cutters. I'm gonna cut this in half, and then I will cut my mesh. I have my ribbon cut already at 12 inches, and I'll put the mesh, the ribbon in this chenille stem, and that'll be a bundle. So first, let me show you the mesh. What I'm doing is I'm cutting this mesh into 10-inch strips. And this mesh is 6 inches long, okay? So what I'm going to do is, if I can find the beginning. So what I'm going to do, so from here to here, the outside of this box is 12 inches, but I'm only cutting this mesh 10 inches. So from here to here is 10 inches. So I'm gonna cut 10 inches. I'm gonna use my rotary cutter, which is pink. Okay, so this from 13 to 23 is 10. It's gonna be 10 inches long. And this is something that you can do at home. It's very easy. Try to watch a movie while you're doing this, or you know, if you're on the phone talking to someone. It's very easy to do this, but it is time consuming. It's very simple, but like I said, just time consuming. So I'm just cutting 10-inch strips, and I will do that with all of my colors. And what I found out was that each roll either made 8 to 10 pieces. So I used about 4 rolls of each color. So see, I can't, this one will only give me, well, it almost made it to 10 inches, but yeah, actually it did. So like I said, it'll give you 10 inches. So let me see how many I was able to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. So this particular roll made 9. Some of them make 8, some make 9. So all of them, they say they're 6 inches by 3 yards, but not all of them are 3 yards. So what I did was I made strips for each color. So I have my yellow, then I have my blue, and then I have the pink. So I sat down and I did all of this. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to take a blue strip, a pink strip, a lavender strip, and a pink strip. Now, I don't want it to be in that actual order. So usually I'll do pink next to the blue, and I'm doing it the long way. So the 10-inch long next to the blue, and the blue will be next to the yellow, and then the yellow will be next to the lavender. And what I'm going to do is just grab them in the middle. So you see that this makes, it's nice and full. But now I'm going to actually take my ribbon that I already cut, So I have this. Remember I said I was using this checkered one with the yellow. So I'm going to use a yellow piece of ribbon. Here we go. And I'm going to take the yellow and place it on top of the checkered. And then I have my bundle. And then what I'm going to do is just fold this in half, so I make sure I'm in the middle. Fold the ribbon in half. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to grab my bundle of mesh that I made already, place this on top, and then what I'm going to do is grab my pipe cleaner that I cut already, fold it in half, place it in the middle, bend it so that it's even, and then I'm just going to twist. And I'll twist, and now I have my bundle. And I'll adjust the ribbon once I get it on the wreath form. Okay? So let me do one more, and then I'll do these off camera, but I'll do it with the other bundle. So I'm doing the yellow. I need to put it in order. The yellow, and then I'm going to do the blue, and then, sorry. Yellow, I'm sorry. How do I have it? The blue, the yellow, the purple, and then I'll have the pink next to the blue. It's just that the purple or the lavender and the pink are so close in color. And then what I'm going to do is get my bundle, my blue ribbon with the pink polka dot ribbon. I'm gonna place that on top. Let's move this out of the way. There we go. And then I'm going to fold this in half. And I'll place this on top of the bundle. Get my pipe cleaner. Right, that's pretty even. And I'll just make a bundle. Bring it to the middle and then just twist. Oops, sorry. And then twist. Oops. Not able to twist. Twist. And there I have my bundle. I'm gonna do the rest and I'll come back. Okay, so now I'm back and I'm gonna show you the bundles that I made. So this is one. And I still have to dovetail this end to look like that one, or fishtail it. And so this is the bundle. And as you can see, it's so pretty. Looks like a little flower. Now, I went on ahead and I put most of the bundles on this wreath. Very time consuming, but very worth it, okay? So let me just show you what I did so far. And then I'll show you how I placed it on. So here we go. Here it is. Do you see how pretty that is? Look at that. This is so pretty. So I'm just gonna show you, because I left a section bare. So let me just show you what I did. So remember I said I was not going to put ribbon on every bundle. I was going to try to do it every other. So right here, there is a ribbon. So the next one is going to be the bundle without. for this bundle here. And we remember we have the 2 legs or arms of the pipe cleaner, and I did use the outer two rings. I don't know if you can see the outer 2 to place it on. So basically what I did, just take my ribbon, you can see it, my pipe cleaner, place it here. I'm gonna fluff just a little bit. I'm gonna turn it over so you can see these 2 here. And then I just twist. Let me turn it over so you can see. Just want to get it on there. So here we go. 1, 2, and then I'm just twisting. I'm twisting the wrong way. I'm twisting it all. And that's it. And then slide it over. And then let me get the other. This is the one with the ribbon. And as you can see, you can fluff it nicely. Show you with the wreath upside down. So we have the outer 2 rings, these 2 arms. It's coming around, and then I'm just going to twist. And that's it. And then slide to the next one. So very simple process. Turned out really, really pretty. I'm gonna have to change the angle of this camera because I'm not getting everything. Two, 1, 2, give it a twist, and it's on. Slide that over on my next one. And now the wreath is done. So let me just dovetail those in. And now she is done. Oops. Guess what I did? I put 2 of the same together. So I'm just gonna have to switch those around because I wanted to be, oh, and I found some more that needed to be dovetailed. So let me go ahead and switch these around and I'll be right back. All right, so here is our completed wreath. Very pretty. It's a little see-through-ish right now, but once we put everything on it, you shouldn't be able to see through. And if it still is, guess what? I can just add more of the mesh to fill it up. But we'll see how it looks in the end. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to place my sign. So here is our sign. And as you can see, it looks so cute. With all the pretty colors. So what I'm going to do is remove this string, because we're not going to use that. I usually just push it right through if it lets me. It's not letting me. So let's cut that off. Cut that off, bring it through. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some pipe cleaners. So the sign, let's see, we want it to be about here. So as you can see, we placed the sign. You can't really see through anything. To hold it on secure, I think I'm gonna have to use like the middle sections to place my pipe cleaners. So I'm gonna place my pipe cleaner like in the middle of the sign. I do not fold my pipe cleaner in half. I usually take the shortest end of the pipe cleaner and place it on the back of the sign and leave the length of the pipe cleaner so that it can go through the depth of the wreath. And I do that on both sides. So let me take out the handy dandy glue gun with my mat that I got from Dollar Tree. Let me put you in frame. Let me put the wreath back. So this is the front, and this is the and then what I'm going to do is use some of the ribbon, like just to reinforce where I glued it. So I'm just gonna tear off a little piece of the ribbon. And I'm gonna use that on both sides. And that's that. And the glue gun. And what I tend to do is glue on top and on the sides. And I'm just gonna place that piece of ribbon on top. Just to keep it in place. Okay, so now the glue is dry, and now we need to place our sign on the wreath. So you see how long the pipe cleaners are? So it'll go all the way through to the back of the wreath. So I think this is where I want the sign to be. And I'm just going to fish through the mesh, and usually I like to attach it to a crossbar. That way it won't move around. Let me fish it on the other side. And I do not want to pull it down too deep because I want you to see this. I want it to look like it's just resting on top of the mesh. You see there? So that's cute. And then I'm just going to twist in the back. Just going to secure it in the back so that it doesn't move anywhere. And just keep wrapping it around to make sure the sign is nice and tight and secure. Let me do that to the other side. So again, let me show you. See the crossbar right here? I'm just gonna bring it around to make sure it's nice and secure. But I'm not gonna pull hard. I just wanna make sure it's secure. And then I'll just keep wrapping it around the crossbar. And that should do it. And it did. So now we have our mesh, our ribbon, our sign. Still not quite sure what I'm going to do. You see those little holes there? I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll put some eggs there. I'll see. I need to cover those up. So we have that. So now, remember I have these bunny ears and I also have this bunny tail. So I would like to, I think, put the rabbit ears or bunny ears around here. Somewhere around here. I don't know if you can see. Really trying to get this in frame. It's very hard. Around here. And then the bunny tail, maybe some like here. So we'll have them like diagonal from one another, maybe like at 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So let's see here. Let's take this off. There we have it. It has a little carrot. Now, to place this in here is going to be challenging. So let's see, because of this headband part, I'm trying to decide if I need to just actually rip it off, but let's see. So I'm going to fish this down in here. And let's see if this works. But I don't want it to be in the spot of one of my ribbons. So far, let me see if I can get this in frame. It's looking cute. Let me move it around. Hold on. Okay, so while I was trying to put the bunny ears on, I realized that I have a gap. So even though the sign is on, you can see to the back. You see my finger? You can see to the back of the wreath. So I don't like that. So what I had to do was, and these are the things, the little lessons that you learn with wreath making. So what I had to do was, remember I had my pipe cleaners on the outer two rings. What I did was I brought them in to the middle two rings, and it seems like that helped with the situation. So I didn't do all of them. I just wanted to see what it would look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all of these and just move them closer to the center, and hopefully that will solve the problem with the big gap with the wreath. Okay, because we don't want to see through to the back of the wreath. And then I'll go ahead, I'll come back, and then I'll put the bunny ears and the bunny tail on. Okay, let me go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was a quick and easy fix, but I still can see some spaces. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, some of the mesh is behind the sign. So I'm just gonna use my finger and push it to the front. And then, looks like it's pretty much fixed. So what I did was, because of the way the sign is made, I just took some of the mesh from the back, put it in those little spaces. Like over here, you see there's a little, so I'm just gonna go behind, and then I'll put one of the mesh pieces within that space. And that way we don't have a gappy wreath. So that looks good to me. And now remember, we have to put these ears here. So I'm just gonna look for a spot like I said before. No, I wanted it at 11 o'clock, so look for a spot over here. And I'm just gonna place my ears in here. And try not to take some of the mesh with me. Okay, let's see. And I have that one, the ears. And now I am going to, now for the bunny, it looks like I'm going to have to glue this on or zip tie it on because of the way this wooden stick right here. And I'm gonna have to cut that wooden stick as well. I'm just looking for a space. I'm using my fingers from behind to try to get this to find a spot for it, so. And then I'm just gonna use a zip tie to keep this on, and then I'll cut the excess off of the wood. And that will be it. And we have to put the eggs on. So let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut the excess wood. I'm just using my wire cutters. Hopefully it'll do the job. If not, it did the job. Okay, and then let's cut this excess zip tie off. So we have have our bunny ears on, the bunny tail on, and now we need to put on, and for the ears, I think I'm gonna zip tie those on as well. Now we need to add the jelly beans because it says jelly bean trail. So let's take out the jelly beans. Different colors. And the yellow one, I'll place down here. And maybe I'll leave this alone. So far we have our jelly beans, and now we need to add our eggs. So these are the eggs, remember, that I got from Hobby Lobby. They were $4.49 with 40% off. And then with the eggs, I figured instead of having them embedded in the mesh, I thought I would just like lay them and have to glue them to the mesh. So maybe one here. Oops, one here, maybe another one over here. And we have some white ones too. So I'm just going to kind of like put them where I think they should go. I have small ones. They don't have a small one. Over here, take this one and replace it with a blue one. It. And then I was thinking about using some of the tubing. I'm not quite sure. Get the tubing out. This iridescent tubing. I'm gonna place one and see if it enhances. So you just take it, make a little loop, another loop about the same width, and then I'm gonna make a third loop, and then I'm going to cut it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. Pipe cleaner just to keep it together. Same technique that we use to put the mesh on. Gotta make sure those arms are even. Give it a twist, and here we have it. And then I'll cut the excess off. And there we have it. And then what I might do is I'm just gonna find a spot. I don't know if I should do it in the spot where the ribbon is or in between. So let me see. Just wanna get an idea what this would look like in the wreath. I'm just fishing. I'm going in between the mesh actually. The crossbar. I'm just twisting on the back. Okay, so I like the way this mesh tubing looks, so I went ahead and I cut the blue and the pink and some more white, and I'm going to put that in the wreath as well. But what I want to start doing now is gluing these jelly bean eggs onto the wreath. So I think I'm going to place them where there's a ribbon. So let me just place some glue. Oops. Okay, come on down. And I'm just going to place it there. And then I'm gonna find another spot. Not where the ears are. Find another spot. Maybe here. And that was a blue one. So I think I'm going to put a pink one there. Pink or purple? Let me see. I'll just use a pink one. And also that'll help keep the ribbon open. And then I'm gonna move on to the next section. So we used the blue already. And I'll find this spot here. And I think I'll use a yellow one, yellow orientation. This one is facing, so I'll make this orientation that way. Okay. Turn around. Find another spot. The bunny is here. This spot here, down here, I'll use a purple. And the orientation of the purple. I'm just spreading out the ribbon. See what it looks like so far. So now what I'm going to do is add on the eggs. And I'm going to glue them to the mesh. So over here, I think I'm just gonna add one of these here, a yellow egg. And I'm just gluing it to the mesh. Watch your hands, because you will burn. So I'm just going to add some more eggs to the mesh, different spots, and I'll be back. Okay, so now we have everything in place, glued on, the eggs. I just have to glue some eggs here. But so far looking good. The mesh tubing, I like the way it looks. So what I did is I went ahead and I cut some more in different colors, the blue, the pink, and the white. And I'm just going to place them in random spots on the wreath. So I'm going in between the mesh. I'm going to use this blue one. I'm gonna place it in here. So I'm going to leave that there. And then right here, remember those two little holes? I do have my little miniature eggs, and I'm just going to add some glue and place them there. And that'll add to all the eggs on there. So now we have our finished Easter bunny wreath. I hope you like it because I think it's so pretty. All the pastel colors, the bunny's ears, the bunny tail. I just think it came together really, really nicely. And I'm just gonna add a hanger, and then in the end I'm going to insert a video or a picture of what this wreath looks like on the door. So here we have it, our Easter bunny pastel colored wreath. It came out really pretty, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with friends. And I'm sending love from me, Michelle, to you. Happy Easter. Bye-bye. And here is a look at the wreath on the door outside. So you can get a look. I think it turned out really cute. The ears, the pastel colors, the little bunny tail. And that is it. Happy Easter!